Hey, everybody, and welcome to Combin U webinar, How to Integrate Instagram Stories into Your Marketing. Long time no going live, almost a month, I think, and I have to tell you guys that I really missed you. Glad to be here again with a ton of useful information for you today. So guys, I know that the audience on Combin webinars is always international and super engaging, so let's welcome each other in comments. Please tell me hello and where are you from? Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Anna. Nice to attend another one of your webinars. Oh, thank you. Greetings from Chile, Austria, Boston, Canada, USA, Texas. Hello from India. Hello. Texas again. Oh, welcome, guys. And while you are typing the name of the country or city you come from, please have a look at the poll I'm going to post right now. So the question is it the first Combin webinar you are attending? It's just for me to know for the statistics. Please give me your answer. Okay. I see that the number of people who is here not for the first time, a little bit more than the number of people who is here for the first time. Okay, now it's equal, 50-50. Okay, thank you for your answers, guys. Now the information for those who are here for the first time. You can always find our webinars and video guides on our official YouTube channel. I will share a link a little bit later, okay? And information about all our new webinars is usually posted on our website or directly in the application a few days before the webinar, or in Combin 2.1 version release. You will only need to go to help section, and there you will find webinar tab, and there you can always find some fresh info on upcoming webinars. So for you guys who do not know me, my name is Anne. I'm marketing manager and webinar host for Combin team. And I'm just keen on social media. I'm keen on webinars, and I love hosting webinars for you, my dear audience. So guys, I think it's high time we started actually speaking about our topic today, about Instagram stories and how one can integrate them into your marketing. So personality, interactivity, creativity, customizations, there are many ways to describe Instagram stories. And if Insta stories are on your social media agenda today, so you can make the most of them. Let's check it out today, how you can do this. But before I actually start my workshop, I want you to know a few housekeeping issues. As you can see on your screens now, there are 4 tabs: chat, Q&A, polls, and handouts. So with chat, I think it's clear. You can comment here on my words and presentation, express your appreciation, I hope, and all the other things. If you have any questions about this presentation or Combin app, please post it not to the chat tab, but to Q&A. When I finish my main part of my workshop, I'll go and check Q&A tab for questions first. So all the questions from Q&A tab will be answered first. So please, in order not to get your questions unnoticed and not answered, post it to Q&A. I promise to answer every single question about Combin app and about Instagram promotion. And in a poll tab, you can always see all the active polls and the results also. As for handouts tab, you will not need it today. Also, now I'm going to post a pop-up offer. Just give me a second. Okay. Do you see it now, guys? Please let me know in the chat if you can see the pop-up offer. While you're typing, let me explain what is it. So here is the link that it is available only for you, for attendees of the webinar. This is the link for Combin engagement group in Telegram Messenger that I created for you. So for those Okay, okay, thank you. I understand that you see this. So for those who do not know what it is, engagement groups are groups where people post the link to their recently published posts and ask other people to comment on it, like it, or save it, view stories, and so on. So the purpose of participating in Instagram engagement group is to get your post to top post section and gain good organic growth from there. So remember the golden rule of Instagram: the more engagement your post gets a few hours after you posted it, the more chances it has to get to the top. So join the group today. Only today I give the link to you because it's a private group. It will be a group only for you. So read the rules and let's skyrocket each other engagement rate. Thank you. So now I think it's time to dive into Instagram marketing together. So are you ready? Let me know in the chat, guys. Send me a smile or something. Give me a move. Yeah, great idea. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, here we go. So guys, I've signed out 6 reasons, 6 most important reasons that from my point of view, why Instagram stories should be utilized. So let's look at the first reason. I will comment just a few words on each of them. So the first reason I've signed out is that Instagram has an active user base with an appetite for stories, just for stories. Statistics says that there is 1 billion people that usually use Instagram every day. But a half of these people like using and watching non-typical content. That means not typical posts with not typical content. And creation of non-typical stories is much easier than creation of non-typical posts. I think you all understand this. Stories creation is a piece of cake. This is the second reason I signed out. So let me be honest here and let you be honest. So you will spend much more time on creating and writing a post than creating a story. It can even end up being more creative and generating more trust from your followers. You just need to picture an interesting moment, add stickers, tag locations, say how you're feeling, and hop, it's ready. So no much time thinking, oh, what caption should I write here or what hashtags should I use? No, it's just a piece of cake. So the third reason is that stories is kind of a laboratory for testing ideas. So because Instagram stories will disappear in 24 hours and you don't need to spend much time for them, they can serve you a good laboratory for testing your ideas. So if the idea you're posting in your stories is popular, the story will receive reactions from followers and you will save the idea to use it in traditional posts that get more exposure. If not, okay, you will just not use that anymore. Moreover, Instagram stories is just a supermarket of great features. Instagram is a visual editor in a sense, and the stories section has too many tools to draw, place stickers, and add beautiful filters to your content. So you can create beautiful visions here. So the next reason is that Instagram stories provide you with a huge traffic opportunity. Compared to classical posts, stories give you the opportunity to add links that can be followed. So as a matter of fact, if you have more than 10,000 followers on Instagram and you have a business account, you are granted to use swipe up links. And stories actually is a great way to be heard. Again, adding stickers, tagging locations, using hashtags, tagging somebody will all work as a way to get discovered, much more than if you add some hashtag or location to your ordinary post. So these are just 6 reasons why Instagram stories are important. So could you maybe think of some more reasons? Tell me please in the chat. So what is your reason for using Insta stories? And tell me, is your account a business one or for personal use? Please share your experience. Driving people to new posts. Okay. Best way to get more followers, yes, with location tags, with hashtags, with tagging people. Maybe is a way to create engagement. Exactly. With a post, there is kind of limited number of actions that can make people engage with you. So it can be a question in your caption or also some link, I don't know. But with stories, it's much more easier to create engagement. I use it if it is something I want to get out there, but it's not totally related to my property business. Okay. A start point for engagement, right? Okay. Easier way to collaborate with other accounts. Yeah, maybe. Interact with my followers through what I see and do in regards to photography adventures. Okay, guys, thank you for your answers. So today I'm going to share with you 6 ways, like I will give you kind of 6 advice how you can use your Insta stories. Again, I picked up only the ways I think work the best for business and personal accounts. You, of course, may have some other examples or some other options, and please, if so, share them in the chat with your colleagues, with me, for us to know just more about the topic. So let's start with the first tip. So how you can use your stories the best is to use stories as tutorials. Letting people know how you do things is a good strategy that social media gurus use to their advantage. This is how they become experts, by sharing their exclusive experience and how things work in some particular niche. A tutorial here can be something as simple as short how-to video, or it could be more intensive like a product demonstration. Actually, we do, Combiant team, and me, we do both on our YouTube channel. We do how-to videos and product demonstration when, for example, it is a new version release. So, either way, educational content is a proven way to pique the interest of your audience on Instagram. So that means if you post educational content, that means you provide value anyway. So it's not just a usual story with something not clear what is here. It's just something that is really worth watching. So to create Instagram stories on a daily basis, think about what recipes you can give to your audience. Because stories are sequential in their nature, and I think they're probably the best fit to explain how to do a certain thing. Plus, you can also save them to your profile for repeat viewing or for future followers to find as well. So let's have a look at the example here. Brands like Samsung understand how to use Instagram stories to engage and educate at the same time. Look at this tutorial that you can see on your screens now. So this story breaks down step by step how to take the perfect photo using a Galaxy device. And also at the end of this series of photo, there is a short call to action. So Samsung encourages followers to share what they actually created by watching this tutorial. So Samsung encourages followers to share their creation using some specific hashtag with Galaxy. And it gives users the opportunity to be featured in Samsung's feed or in Samsung stories, I don't know, just on their account. And this thing leads us directly to our next point. This is user-generated content. So why I think that it's important for you to use. User-generated content is considerably more memorable than other types of content, such as advertisement, for example, or brand-generated content. Why? The reason is simple here. User-generated content reflects the true feeling of relatable individuals who actually use your products or services. You can use the power of your followers to share quality content, and your business here spends zero time on making it. Fellow users can also be inspired to submit their own work and check back often to see if they made the cut. So such stories will be small successes that they are very well perceived on social media everywhere, not only on Instagram, but on Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on. Let's look at the example here. So here you can see how user-generated content can be used in your Insta stories from health and fitness training company 28 by Sam Wood. Here they have repurposed a before and after photo from one of their customer, from one of their clients. Also, another excellent way of collecting user-generated content in your stories is to use a unique company hashtag. We just talked about that with Samsung company, but here again. For example, here you can see clothing brand French Connection, and they have a stories highlights tab for their unique hashtag My French Connection, where they show customers, like usual customers, also celebrities wearing their clothes. So just like they reuse the stories on their stories feed. On the top of people using your products and highlighting the benefits of your business, you can also use stories to share testimonials or positive customer feedback. So it's also considered to be user-generated content because you spend none or a few efforts on creating this content. And remember, a big part of newcomers to your page, to your Instagram account, will first have a look at exactly this session, at customer feedback or testimonials, okay? So, the third way to use stories for your business and maybe for some personal account. This is behind the scenes. So part of the beauty of Instagram stories is, you know what, is that they do not have to be big, polished productions. Shining the light on your employees or taking your audience behind the scenes into the workings of your business can help humanize your brand and build real trust with your followers. Especially this kind of advice is useful for B2B companies who want to show off their company culture, behind the scenes stories of your office space or event or conference, maybe your warehouse or factory or another work setting that can be captured in a single photo or single video. So this all works just great on stories. So if you post a story on Instagram to emphasize real life and look behind the scenes, people would love to follow you in your next endeavors, such as conference or public event. So when you are thinking about behind the scenes, just allow yourself a little bit of imperfection and naturalness. Just think you are not making a Hollywood film or Netflix series anyway, so just be yourself. Let's have a look at the example. This is an example from Salesforce recent story from their Trailheadix 2018 conference. They promoted their company with a unique hashtag that you can see here on your screens, and Salesforce showcased everything from real-time presentations to happening at booths around the conference. There were much more images, much more stories. I decided to share just a few for you to understand what I'm talking about. So if you are struggling to figure out how to use Instagram stories, consider putting the human side of your business on the display. So this is the main idea. This is the main thing I wanted to tell you here. It could not be just behind the scenes, not only behind the scenes. You can do something else, but please do not forget to put the human side, show your maybe imperfection to your business and show it to your customers, to your potential customers, and to people who really care of your brand. The next thing, for some of you it may seem obvious, but still, we will now talk about native interaction tools of Instagram for stories. These features like polls, question stickers, countdown feature, anything else, represent a playful way to pique your followers' brains. You know, I often get a question on the webinars or on some interviews like, if I'm just starting a business on my Instagram, what should I start from? Where do I find influencers? How do I create some ads? And they think, come on, people, stop. You are just starting your business. And you forget that everything you need for starting your business, I repeat, you already have everything that you need to start a promotion. You have so many native Instagram tools and they are absolutely free to use. So why do not use it to your advantage? So there is no need to reinvent the wheel because Instagram has so many interactive tools that really create much engagement, and not to use it, it would be a great mistake, I think. So once again, let's have a look at everything Instagram provides you with, and I will now remind you to maybe some of you explain how you can use these interactive elements to your advantage. So Instagram stories stickers. I think you all know what is it. I decided not to show a picture here. So there is a whole database of stickers on Instagram you can use to your taste. You need just type a word in the search box and you'll have a variety of emojis and GIF stickers to choose from. This way, you can grab the attention of your followers and engage them and make them always come back to check out your stories. Personally, I do not like to see stories with just a pic. I like to see animated stories. I like to watch stories with GIFs. I like to watch stories with emojis. I think so do I. And so you do. Sorry. So you should use this fact to your advantage. Also, when posting a story, do not forget to add your location. Not always, but still. I think most of us always on the move, so why not add location as to what our location is right now? Instagram encourages you to tag location not without a reason, because tagging a specific location, a cafe or a cinema or any other place, your story turns up in the public feed of that location. So it will make anyone who searches for that location on Instagram come across your story. Instagram location is a good way to get discovered by people who are not following you. They may also bring more attention to where your business is located if that happens to be one of your intentions. And just my personal statistics of my account, when I watch the statistics of my stories or of my posts, I see that about 25 to 30% of people who watch the story or who saw my post, they came from location tag. So this is just for you to know. About hashtags. Using hashtags when creating Instagram stories, not posts, we're talking about stories here, is also important as tagging locations. Again, a relevant hashtag will draw the attention of people interested in a particular topic. Your story will automatically pop up on the feed page of that hashtag and will add to your profile more discoverability. Also, when I add hashtag to my stories, it's like 20-25% of people who watch my stories, they came from the hashtag. So this is statistics for you. Another Instagram native feature is stories polls. Polls are created to crowdsource ideas, gather feedback, or discover more about people who follow you. They are your key to creating unique content that will have maximum engagement from your audience. By now, there are two types of polls you can do on Instagram. This is emoji sliders, like you choose one emoji with heart eyes or, crying emoji. And there is also ordinary poll where your followers can vote under your question, yes or no, true or false, something like that. Watch, please, the example on your screens now. Food delivery service HelloFresh regularly runs polls via Instagram stories. And actually, they have one more feature that is worth your attention here. It is on the last pic, on the last screen, it is swipe up to finish. They use it as a way of converting followers from Instagram into subscribers on their website. So if you swipe up, you will go to their website, see the results of your polls, see the results of what was wrong, what was right. And maybe here you will see some special offers or something like that. And question stickers. question stickers on Instagram are oriented on your followers. So this way you can disclose information about yourself, or you can ask them for advice. For example, recommend me some interesting book to read, or recommend me an interesting film to watch, or just express your opinion on what you think about my account, something like that. So you can disclose information about yourself that is of interest to your followers. And I think that will be the one who asks questions this time compared the emoji sliders and polls. So if you are eager to get product, service, or any other feedback from your customers, consider running a poll on Instagram stories, or maybe even a live interactive Q&A session. We do not have Instagram, unfortunately, but we all often do interactive Q&A session with a representative of Combin development team. You can watch some of them on our official YouTube channel, and in future, I think in the next 2 months, we will have one too. So now on your screens, you can see the example of using question stickers. So Uber ran a Q&A session about driver and rider safety, where people could ask any question they wanted. And also one more interesting fact about question stickers is that you can answer the questions with just a text message, or you can record a small video. I think when you record a small video, it's better because people see a real person behind a brand. Okay, let's move to the next advice from me, how you can use Instagram stories for your business or for your personal account. And now we will talk about special announcements. So given the prominence of stories on both Instagram and Facebook, stories are a perfect place to make special announcements or run promotions. For example, if you have a new product line coming out, or if you are planning a Black Friday sale, or if you are running a giveaway, the urgency factor of stories makes it desirable distribution channel. If we had Instagram, Combin team, we would also make special announcements that a new version is coming out. Announcements that keep your followers guessing through every step of your story represents one of the most creative ways to use the format. So now you can see how beauty brand Frank Body leveraged stories to announce the release of a new range of face products. Like just an example for you to understand. And the last tip is time-bound deals. So I just mentioned the urgency factor of Instagram stories on new occasions during the webinar, and there is no better way to make the most of this than by offering a time-bound deal or discount. Just as you would promote an offer via Instagram, you can do the same via stories. Perfect for e-commerce and brick-and-mortar stores alike, stories can be used for limited time deals, or they can be used simply to highlight a current sale. So, due to stories' disappearing nature, you can run mini promotions that create urgency and entice your followers to take action immediately. Also, if your followers realize that you're posting really exclusive offers on your products and services, they are going back to check in far more often. So now you can see the example of how French Connection included an event-relevant coupon code in one of their stories. Please see it on your screens. Now I've just provided you with 6 examples, and these 6 examples are just a small selection of the ways you can use Instagram stories in your marketing efforts. But I think it's not as easy as throwing together a tutorial or showing off a coupon code. Unfortunately not. To make stories work for your business, you need to understand one more thing: how to design, how to create, how to distribute, and engage with this feature to maximize performance. And I've prepared 7 tips for you how to do all of this: how to design, how to create, how to distribute, how to engage with this feature. So are you ready for this? Aren't you tired? I will now just have a look at what you're typing here. Do you recommend to use more than one hashtag in stories? I think it depends on your story. So if you are on some event, like on a festival or concert, yeah, you can use from, I think, maximum number of hashtags and stories is 5. So if you are using, if you are on a festival, or for example, if we're talking about FIFA 2018, it could be several hashtags, like for example, Brasilia win or FIFA 2018, like 2 of them. If it's just an ordinary story, then I think 1 will be okay. Learning a lot here with this inspiration teacher. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I see people are ready. So now I'll repeat 7 tips to improve the performance of your Instagram stories. Guys, I'll remind you, if you want me to answer your question, please post it to Q&A tab that is located to the right from the chat tab. It will be just more comfortable for you, for me, and for you also. I will not get your question lost, and I will see it and I will answer it, promise. So here we go. The first tip is to make, it's obvious, yeah, but still you need to make stories interactive. The type of story you choose will determine how interactive people are likely to be with it. For example, if you conduct a poll or a live Q&A session, they are designed specifically to gather interaction. However, you can also make the most of the huge list of Instagram stories feature to increase the chance of someone interacting with your campaign. So some of the features include polls, swipe to link, overlay text, image editing, and tagging users. Let's again have a look at the example. This is an example of sporting apparel brand Under Armour, and it runs a regular fitness challenge on their Instagram stories. And here you can see that they use a special hashtag, and they are enticing interaction from users with this hashtag. Also, here is overlay text, swipe to link, unique hashtag, and some psychological persuasion for those competitive people out there. I'm not sure if you can see this psychological persuasion, but still there is something. For another example of a brand using interactivity in their stories, let's have a look at the next slide. Here comes Starbucks. You can see a story image where they use the interactive text element to encourage user engagement. So with so many fancy features and options with Instagram stories, it's extremely important not to forget about the basics. I'll repeat one more time. Do not reinvent the wheel. Do not start doing some difficult things. Just start with the easiest ones. It's everything you need. You already have it. And you already have it for stories. And stories are nowadays more popular than posts. So more people would watch your stories than would see your post in their feed. So use stories to your advantage and use all these features to your advantage. Overlay text, emojis, moving graphics, image video editing. That is what Instagram is all about. So the next tip is to reuse stories on your page. When I was talking about user-generated content today, I already mentioned this. So without the highlights feature, Instagram stories would be far less effective for brands because a lot of your best content would disappear after 24 hours. I think you all know that there is the highlights section, which you can see on your account page. And this section allows you to extend the life of popular stories, as well as categorize your stories so that new followers can see the great content you have been sharing. I think nowadays it's extremely important to use highlights feature, and sometimes I just come to somebody's account on Instagram and it's really piece of art how they organize these highlights. I really get inspired, and if I had my own business, I think I would take much from them. So on the picture, you can see where you can find the highlights area, and on the picture, you can see again the great example of categorization of all the stories and just visual, beautiful visual. So all you need to do to activate this visual carousel on your page is to turn on the Stories auto-archiving feature from your settings and begin choosing Stories to feature. Now, the third tip is to run a Stories ad. So it is suggested that an epic 1 in 5 stories on Instagram get a direct message from viewers. These sky-high engagement rates make stories an intriguing place to run ads, especially considered not a lot of brands are doing it yet. So when compared with other advertising channels, of course. Instagram Stories ads are seen by viewers as they swipe through the stories of their followers, and these ads can be set up just like any other Facebook or Instagram ad using the Ads Manager or Power Editor. Now you can see an example of one of these ads from Blenders eyewear. So as you can see, they are using similar techniques to brands that have success with organic Instagram stories, such as using overlay text and call to actions. Okay. I'm sure you've already seen some of the ads, and sometimes I'm even stop for a minute to watch the ad till the end, because really sometimes it's just a piece of art. So the fourth advice for today, and it's, I think, a very actual advice, is to work with influencers. People are tired of this common advertisement. And you remember on some of my previous webinars, I told you that influencer is for its audience, for his audience or for her audience, influencer is a friend. And so most people believe they're friends and they trust them. So if influencer is advertising something that you are offering, it is there are much more chances that their audience will have a look at what you are offering. Of course, compared to ads, for example. So working with influencers, big and small, is, I think, one of the most effective marketing tactics for today. By collaborating with somebody who already has established trust with your ideal customers, you can run promotion, get product review, significantly decrease your customer acquisition cost when compared to other paid marketing channels. So using the stories component of both your profile and the profile of your chosen influencer during a campaign will maximize the reach and exposure of your promotion. For example, shoe brand Winder Smith worked with celebrity influencer Sophia Richie on an Australian store roadshow, and they featured that in their stories. They also provided for their audience a chance to meet this Sophia Richie in real life in some of their shops, or I do not remember where exactly. And in their stories highlights, from where I took these screenshots, there were some stories of Sophia taking photos and taking videos with all of the people who came to that store. I think it's really a great idea, but I think they paid a lot to her because she had lots of more than 1 million followers on Instagram, as far as I remember, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's go to the next tip. The next tip for today is test different stories options. There are currently 9 options available when starting a new Instagram story. So type, music, live, normal, boomerang, super zoom, focus, rewind, and hands-free. I know that the number of these stories options can be different, and it depends on the country. But still, I think from 5 to 7 of them, every country, it's available for every country. So all of these story types have different quirks, from looping 3-second GIFs to reverse filming, and you are only limited by your creativity here, by your imagination. Consider using a mix of these options in your story strategy, and over time, you will determine which one resonates most with your audience. So guys, how did you like the information I shared with you today? So what strategy are you going to implement in the nearest future? Please have a look at the poll. Sorry, I'm going to post right now, and choose one option. So tell me which Instagram strategy you are going to implement in the nearest future. and why? Okay, tutorials are winning. Tutorials, user-generated content, and native interactive elements. I see tutorials are the winners today. Absolutely winners. And tell me why. Why, guys, you decided that exactly this strategy will work the best for your account? Yes, I know that the poll does not allow to explain why, so please tell me in the chat. Tutorial is content marketing. Yeah. Tutorials because they will promote paid courses. Okay. I'll use multiple but time-based deals would work the best for my e-commerce. And can you guys tell me exactly what you are doing? What exactly is your business on Instagram? Providing value. Okay. To add value to the lives of my followers from my brands. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your answers. Politics. Hotel. Behind the scenes, we'll show them our ethics and integrity. Of course, of course. Just now, when I was getting ready for that webinar, a boy helped me, also my colleague. And, it was so funny how we organized all this webinar stuff, and he did so many things. And I just said to him, I'm going to hosting a webinar. And in this webinar, I'm talking about behind the scenes content. And I wish we had an Instagram account so I could make a story. I could record a story of what you are doing to help me to prepare for webinar. It was just cool, and I really, it's a pity that we do not have an Instagram account. I have a personal profile. I'm starting as influencer. Oh, good luck. Expose my photographies. Yeah, not really a business, just a photographer that loves nature. Okay, for you photographers, for you guys, I think stories is just a great way to showcase what you're doing. For you, behind the scenes is a great way to show how you are taking this picture, how you are struggling, because I know that sometimes for a photographer or for a travel blogger, I know that they wake up very early, for example, or I know that they maybe even not fighting, but they always have some difficulties. And it would be nice if you show this in behind the scenes. Like, for example, it was difficult to take the peak, but it's worth it. I have a clothing brand. Countdown for my training events. Okay, nice. Thank you guys for your answers. Now I have one more slide for you. I have one more tip. It's a hide and hide hack. So when all else fails, or when seeking an extra boost, you can always try hacking the system with hide and hide hack. What you need to do is to post a story, then hide it from the person you want to see your story. Then quickly unhide it, and your story will reportedly jump to the top of the stories queue. So if you are looking to grab the attention of thousands of followers, this hack is of course time consuming and may not pay off in the long run. But when you are first starting out, it may provide the jump start you need. Just don't forget to also follow the above tips I just shared with you today, so your content becomes the driving force behind your engagement, so not tricks. So at the end of the webinar, At the end of the workshop, there are so many different ways to execute a story strategy and an array of various features to use. So how you do all of this will depend on your business and on your customers. Consider testing a few approaches, consider testing styles and interactive elements over time, and you, of course, will determine an effective formula for your brand. Just understand, everything you do on Instagram, it's not right and it's not wrong. It just works or it just doesn't. So you need to test every time test new features. Every time do something new, every time do something creative, and of course you will have success with your business, with promoting your accounts, I'm sure. And Combin is always here to help you. So guys, thank you for your attention. Now, as promised, I'm going to Q&A, but before I answer your questions, let me remind you, for those who do not know, when I was sending invitations to my webinar during in my email campaign, I told about this in emails, but for those who came from other sources, on my previous webinar, with my audience, we decided to introduce a new idea. So we decided to on every webinar, we decided to choose one person from the audience, of course, who wants to analyze his or her account. So me and the audience have a look together at the personal profile or business profile and say what we like, what we do not like, what we would change, and how we would do it. So if you want me and the audience to help you to understand what you are doing right, what you are doing wrong, if you are not afraid to hear honest opinion, so please share your Instagram nicks in the chat. I understand that there will be not one and maybe not even two, not three people. Please, so write your Instagram account in the chat. I will choose two of them today. I will do it randomly. I will look at this, and the first two I see will be chosen. I promise that we will not repeat these accounts on the next webinar, so every webinar we will do it. And maybe on the next webinar, if the idea is, if you like this idea and if it works well, we will choose not two, maybe 3, 4, 5. But still, please, share your accounts anyway, even if you do not want us to judge you. So just share your account, and people, please follow each other on Instagram, see how you are doing it. Yeah, and it's better if you send a link, guys. Now I'm going to Q&A. I will first answer all of your questions. After that, I will come back to chat, I will tell you what I chosen. I will post it also to the chat, and we will start working together. But please, guys, do not be inactive. So if you want you to be chosen next time, please also have a look at the account of the people and don't be afraid to express your opinion. Okay, I'm going to Q&A finally. Not the first time here, have been in many of your webinars in the past. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. 1 billion Insta user per day. Is there statistics of which top 5 countries use an Insta most? Of course, there is some statistics on the internet. Just Google it. I do not know it for sure, so I'm afraid I will be mistaken. So please Google it. Should hashtag be always in lowercase? I think there is no a certain answer. Yes, they should, or no, they shouldn't. It depends on you. But I prefer when it's in lowercase. It looks like, I don't know, it's just more beautiful. Best advice for stories if you do not have the swipe up feature. If you do not have the swipe up feature, just make your stories animated, make it a real performance, like a small film. Make it animated, add GIFs, but of course not 10 GIFs on one story, just the GIFs that really suit this story. Provide value and gain more followers to get this swipe up feature. Also, guys, if we're talking about swipe up feature, we know that it's connected to links. So you want a person to go to some link. For you, if you do not know, you always can place a link to your bio. And not many of you know that there is such, I don't know how to say, a tool or a site. It is called Linktree. So you go there and add all the links you want followers go, and at the end you get one link and you put it into your bio. So when they click on this link, they will be redirected, I don't know, to some site or to some program, and they will see all the other links you place there. So it's a great way of showcasing your product, of leading people where you want them to go. Best metrics tools to know results of Insta stories. I'm not an influencer. I have 6,000 subscribers on Instagram. So I've just, based on my personal experience, I haven't ever even used some tools to know results of Insta stories. I use just a business account statistics, and here you can see all of these things like where do people find your content and how popular is it and so on. On stories, I see a lot of accounts telling people to check out their post. Would you suggest to do this every time you make a post? I read a lot of articles on social media, and recently I noticed that this thing like check out my post is not so popular as it used to be. So now it doesn't drive so much traffic as it used to be. I personally never do this, never post such kind of stories, but I think if you have a sale or if you have some special offer, so I think you need to do this. You need to post a story and ask people to check out the post. Or again, if your post provides extremely much value, then of course, yes. And if it's just a peak or not an ordinary peak or some funny quote, then no. But it's just my opinion. Is there a time limit of 24 hours for Insta stories? I did not quite get you right, but yes, if you publish a story, it will disappear in 24 hours, but you can always add it to highlights. Influencers may cost money, and with so much of social media overload, if she errors, it may sound negative for my brand. Yeah, that's why you need to work, you need to elaborate on choosing an influencer. I'm planning a webinar on all this influencer marketing, I think in October. So I will speak about it much more in detail. So I will provide you with tips on how to choose an influencer and what influencer should you choose, how to check his or her engagement rate, and so on. Please send Telegram link again. Guys, did it disappear? Because I have the webinar link here. Okay, but I will close it, and one more time I will post it. Okay, I think you can see it now. Any updates on the 2.1 version? Yeah, I've been waiting for the question. Oh, guys, sorry. Too many stories for this. I know that we promised to release the version very long time ago, even in June, but you see that all these problems with Instagram, new changes in Instagram algorithm, and it was a planned automation crackdown that Instagram actually did with us, and it took too much time to fix all these problems. The fact is that 2.1 version was ready to be released in June, but these difficulties made us postpone it. Guys, promise this week will be 2.1 version will be released. You will be notified via emails and of course via Combin app directly. Do you think it's okay to put a lot of stories on a daily basis? It depends on what you mean by a lot of stories. For me, a lot of stories, like it is 15. For me, it's just a lot. I actually do not watch stories of people if there are more than 10. I just start picking, and even do not pay attention. But if it is, for example, a quiz, or if it is behind the scenes, or if it is a tutorial, of course, you will need more than one story, even more than 5, for example. Guys, also, I forgot to tell you, but I think you understand that all the accounts I posted today, I showed you today during the webinar, they are great examples to visit them. They are great to understand what you should do. I just showed you one little piece of this account, one little part. There are so many, other inspirational ideas you can grab from there. So please rewatch the webinar, write out the names, the Instagram accounts. They are shown I will just show you. Like on this slide. Look, you can see here the Instagram account name, and you can find it and find there more inspiration. And again, you will make a decision if it is okay to put a lot of stories on a daily basis or not. It seems engagement via likes and comments to be very slow in my account in Combin. Why? Again, because of these problems with Instagram, new changes in algorithm and automation crackdown. Based on our analytics, we understood that Instagram reduced the limits twice. So if earlier you had a limit, like for example 1,000 likes, now you have 500 only, and that is the reason why we made Combin algorithm look more like a human, and not to do all the tasks just in the first hour. We decided we decided to make it look more human. So one part of your task in 1 hour, one part of your task in another hour, and so on. Does the Instagram crackdown on bots mean automation is dead? No, it's not dead, of course. I think it will never be dead, but now you just need to choose more precisely on what accounts you will spend your limits, your Instagram limits. For this, we implement more filtrations, and you really need to understand who you want to engage with. So if earlier you could just select all and like all, now you need to think more precisely on that. What is the average number of stories someone will look at before exiting stories? It's a great question, guys. So let me ask this question for the audience. So what is the average number of stories you will look at before exiting the stories? Please let me know in the chat. Anna, will you also do a webinar on Instagram TV? Sorry, we do not have Combin account on Instagram. I think if I have a webinar on my personal Instagram, people will not get me quite right, because I do not have the audience, my target audience, you, on my Instagram. So I think No, maybe in future. 20 to 30, about 3 stories. Oh, 20 to 30, you are a very patient man or woman. I don't know who you are. 20 to 30, it's much. Okay, so see, I forgot who asked me that question. There was no name, unfortunately. So I think you see in the chat. So webinar about Instagram TV. Yeah, of course. I thought about that also. Just let me know what you want to know exactly about Instagram TV. What is your favorite tool for designing stories? You mean a native tool or some other application for designing stories? The presentation was quite natural, content-wise rich, liked it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Possible to add the feature to send direct messages to member who liked your post, maybe say thanks and ask to follow because not all likers are followers. You mean to implement the feature into comment app? Yes, we are working on direct messages. No Q&As more. Let me go back to the chat. Okay, so now I'm going through your messages sent to the chat. I will pick 2 of the accounts and I will send them here to the chat for you to see. So please, guys, be active. Okay, the first one, The Amazing Night. This one. So guys, now let's take a few minutes to look at the account, to watch the story, if any, to watch highlights, to read captions somewhere, and let's have a look what would you change, what you like, what you don't like. Okay, here we go. Front-end engineer, photographer, and architecture enthusiast. Oh, you're following me. Sorry, I didn't see. Of course, follow back. Oh, beautiful visuals. You know, the first thing that I like for 100% is that you use your feed is very beautiful. So it's organic. It looks really great. When I have a look at your feed, I understand that you really care of how your content looks like. So there are the same colors on each of the peak. It's orange and blue. Are you editing your photos yourself? Great job, really great job. And are all of these peaks you have taken them yourself, or are there some pics you found on internet? Okay, I just picked one picture. I see that you are using hashtags, unique hashtags. Sometimes you reply to comments, sometimes not. So what is the reason? I will just come back to the chat. Love the colors of the feed. Very nice account. Love the general color theme. Yeah. The consistency is gorgeous. Yes, absolutely. I love the color palette. You see, all the people notice that. Guys, let's please have a look at captions and the way the person interacts with the audience. So do you see much interaction? Let's have a look at this. Okay. I see you are using hashtags, and I noticed that under each photo, the set of the hashtag is different. So it's not the same everywhere. It's a cool way of testing this feature. I mean, hashtags, if you watch my webinars on my webinar on hashtag, I also talked about that. So you need to test every time different different combinations of hashtags. Also, you are using location tag. Cool. Okay. Good work. All the captions have the same format. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you the same. So all the captions have the same format. That means maybe it's good. I don't know. For consistency and for a photographer, maybe it's good. But as for me, I miss something personal in this account. Maybe your story, the way this pic was taken, or why you decided to share this pic with the audience, or somebody wrote their missing caption with some potential to interact. Yeah, that's right. So again, but it again depends on what you want from your account. If you want consistency, beautiful pics, consistent feed, it's okay, you're doing it well, you're 100% winner here. But if you want to build some personal connections with your audience, and your audience is large, so I think you should add some more personality in your account. How do people use different fonts on their profiles? Just yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw an app or a site. I do not remember what was that exactly, and there was just a ton of different fonts of Instagram. You can Google it, for example, tons for Instagram, and you can find an app and sites and everything you will need for that. Okay, I think we're done with that person. Thank you. I hope you are here so you can actually read and hear what we're talking. The next one will be Stefan. I'll just copy and paste. Hello guys, we have another one person to analyze. Let's again have a look, a few minutes. Stories, if you have camera addicted for like-minded folks. Köln. Oh, Köln. We are going to Köln with our Combin team in September. Would be nice to meet you. Okay, on the avatar of your Instagram account, I see a man, but here I see a girl. Girls. So I see that you also have consistency. So you post 2 pictures of nature and one picture of a girl. Let me have a look at your captions. Oh, you're friends with the person we just had a look at, the amazing night. I just saw his comment under one of your pic. Busy days in Bavaria, so no long story, short from last year or even 2 years ago, can't remember right now. Okay, mention tag, hashtags. Here I already see some personality. I see that you express your emotions like, hey, the Instagram crop, but I love the shot. Hope you enjoyed and enjoy your day. So you are positive to your audience. Okay, you are also using different hashtag sets. I see you are only starting on Instagram. You have only 600 followers. but I think you are on the right way. So let me have a look at the chat. Anna, you post content related stuff on your profile? No, it's my personal profile. Okay, I like the captions. So what can I say about your profile, Stefan? I really like the consistency, that you are consistent. Also, the colors, I think, are... So there is not much diversity in colors, and it looks beautiful. Also, I like that you put some personal, something personal into your comments, into captions. And I also like that you are testing hashtags and that you are testing different kind of captions. So you are including hashtags, you're including mention tag, you tag, I also see that you tag on your pictures, on your posts, you tag some community accounts, and I think you want them to feature you on the accounts. It's a great way. Also, I talked about that on some of my previous webinars, and yes, for photographers, it's great. For you, I would like just to wish you good luck, because I think you are on the right way. So just have a good luck, and let me have a look at how often you post. So you said it's inactive, yes, but still, every single week, as I can see, or even more often. Yeah, great way. So good luck to you, Stefan. So guys, that was all for today that I wanted to say to you. We analyzed 2 accounts. Thank you. I see it was a nice experiment. So I think, and I promise to you that on the next webinar, we will choose more accounts from 3 to 5. And we will do the same on all of the next webinars. So once again, about engagement group, please read the rules. I will be strict. I will be watching your activity, of course. Who posts the first? Do not need to like on somebody, because there is nobody now. But you feel free to be the first, to be the second, to be the third. Let's start our engagement group. Let's skyrocket our engagement rates. And now I will send you a link to our YouTube channel. Tomorrow I will... Oh, sorry. Tomorrow I will send you a follow-up email with a recording of the webinar, so you'll be able to rewatch it. This is webinar link. I will also send my email in case you have some ideas for the webinar, like Instagram TV or some other topics you want me to speak about. Also some ideas on Combine apps and troubleshooting, and also please send me. And my Instagram account. Let's share each other's Instagram account, guys. Let's follow each other. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for your participation. I like when the audience is engaging. I like when the audience is responding. At these moments, I understand that people really are listening to you, that people are kind of interested in what you are saying. So thank you. Thank you, guys. Audio of this will be sent to us. The video. I will send you the video, and I will upload it tomorrow, I think, on our YouTube channel. So thank you, guys. Love you all. The next webinar will be dedicated to Combine Scheduler. For those who don't know, recently we released a beta version of our scheduler. It's free for Combine users. You can download it by the link I'm sending now in the chat. You can download it. It's a beta version, guys. More features coming soon. I think the release of this Combine Scheduler will be at the end of August. And a few days after or before the release of Combine Scheduler, I will also host a webinar. The information about the webinar you will find on our official website or directly in the application, and in 2.1 version release that I hope will be released this week, tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. If you go to help section, you will see here webinars tab. So if you go there, you will see all the information about upcoming webinars. Drop me a direct message when you and the team will get to Köln. Okay. Guys, everybody in Köln will be very happy to meet you. Okay, guys, thank you very much for participation and for coming here. Have a good day, have a good evening, have a good night. See you soon. Bye-bye.